How's spring practice feeling for you so far, just after 2 practices?
Feels good, man. Everybody has a lot of energy. You know, I know the things I need to work on personally. You know, I know the things I need to work on to get the guys going. But so far as day 2 is in the books, and things feel pretty good.
What are those things you feel you need to work on?
Majority is just a mental approach. You know, everybody can just run around and hit and tackle and make interceptions, but you know, if you don't have the game in your mind and play the game in your mind, then you know the game will always be a step slower for you, and it'll never be, you know, the step you want it to be because you're not playing the game with your head. So that's my biggest thing. It's going into my 3rd year, so it's all mental approach.
Is there some transition going from the alignment that you're playing a lot of 4-3?
What's that?
That you went from a 3-4 to a 4-3?
Well, we always did play the 4-3. You know, in some cases, some packages we always did play the 4-3. So it's really nothing different. You know, you're just more of an emphasis on your fits and, you know, your adjustments when according to the offensive line and things like that. But we always played 4-3 in some aspects of last year.
So it's really similar to last year, you would say?
Right.
From a personal standpoint for you, has your role changed at all in terms of, you know, the new conceptual shifts?
Not really. My role hasn't changed. You know, as far as I would say, my role needs to be changed as far as a leadership aspect. Okay. You know, because we have a lot of young guys, right. a lot more young guys than, you know, since I've been here. Yeah. So you know, just letting them feel more comfortable and be able to play faster. You know, and just tell them that things are going to be all right. Like, you know, you're not going to get everything in this practice. It's going to take practice after practice and, you know, studying by yourself over time. So that's where I could, you know, lean more to in helping the young guys.
At the end of the bowl game, Coach Moore talked about your guys' need as a team to really get more physical. Did he convey that message to you guys in any way?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I think anytime when you lose your physical, you know, attributes, that hurt you in a way, especially as a defense, because, you know, the main emphasis as a defense is to be physical, right? So, you know, that's why I think it's so great that with the offense that we have now and the defense that we have now, everything is from tackle to tackle or tight end to tight end, you know, in 12P. So everything is like, you know, knuckle up in the trenches and, you know, play physical. And once you practice that way, that prepares you for the Stanfords, the Texas A&Ms, and, you know, the big time schools. So I think he did make an emphasis on it, and we're working in that direction of as far as being a more physical team.
You think that was something was an issue that you lacked last year, the physicality?
You know, maybe not, but I think, you know, that's just not one area you look at. I think you look at all the areas you need to improve at, and you just keep the positives, and also you try to excel at the negatives also, you know, if there was a physical part where we lacked.
Last year you started out as the Mike backer, and then after Miles got injured, you know, kind of got a little bit of every position, linebacker, like you played the jack a little bit.
Right.
How did that help you maybe playing every position? I know it was probably hard in the season, but how did it help you playing in-game in those different positions?
I wouldn't say it was hard. I'd say it's more of a challenge upon myself, you know. Can I rise to the task or not? Because as you look at it, you know, the Mike, you're the quarterback of the defense, and at the jack, you're more covering. Your assignments is different. So, you know, I had to shift my mindset a little bit because things happen so fast. Like Miles got hurt in the middle of a practice. Nobody expected that. And it's like, you know, can he go to the jack, play the jack? So, you know, it was more a maturity thing for me, if anything. You know, like, can he learn the jack? You know, this and that. And Isaac playing the mic. And, you know, it worked well for a good bit of time. So, you know, I just say, like I said, it's all about a mental approach, man. Just studying the game and knowing where your fit's at and, you know, your responsibilities at each position. Because that's what it did for me. It made me understand everybody's position.
You talked about how the offense maybe has changed how you're matching up differently, like with 12P. And even though you haven't hit, is it different matching up against them so far after 2 practices than last year? Is it different scheme?
Yes, most definitely, because last year was more of a spread offense, right? When Coach Noah Mazzoni was here. So now with Coach KP, you know, it's much more of less running around, but more that mean guy, you know, that aggressive and, you know, like I want to knock you out type guy. Whereas last year was more run around space, make a tackle, you know, this and that. So that's the biggest difference is the amount of space you're moving.
So as soon as you go to pads, do you see there's going to be a lot of difference in when you go 11v11 here?
For sure. A lot of more physical, you know, maybe a little bit more fights because guy gets so, you know, this game is competitive. You know, at any level, it's supposed to be competitive. So you always going to have guys pushing each other. You always going to have, especially in the trenches. So it's great for us because, you know, like he mentioned, the physical aspect, that's where we could improve most is the physical part about it. Maybe did we like that last year? Maybe, but you know, it'll help us in practice because when it comes time to the bigger stage, like games, we'll be prepared for it.
What have you seen in these first 2 practices from guys like Mike and Breland Grant?
Just honestly, just open to learn. That's one of the, the greatest things you should have as a player is willing to learn, willing to mess up at full speed though, because you never want to be hesitant. You always want to go, because we can always go back and fix things. So for them as young guys, Mike, he's gonna be. If he keep his mind right, he'll be a pretty good player for us and help us out really early in the season. So, for him, I just think, it's him just open to learn and learning the playbook and just getting up to the veteran guys, understanding of it. And I think he'll do pretty fine.
That's good.
That's it.
Thanks.